All right. Welcome back to Bible and Blues. This is Emerald City Review Night. Did you watch it? Did you not? I did, and actually just finished watching it 25 minutes ago. So it's I tried a different format tonight. It's late for this, old fart. So I'm gonna try to get it done pretty quick tonight. So what I did was I divided it up according to basic subplots. I took my nose in subplot form. Things mix up a little bit, but that's okay. I think it'll work out just fine. So tell me what you think about how I'm doing this tonight. If you like it, great. If you don't, you can let me know that too. I can take it. I have broad shoulders and a fat belly. I can take things. Okay. So let's start with our main character, Dorothy. Dorothy's been captured by West. She was captured by the witch doctor. Remember from the Munchin land. Munchin. I'm gonna have to watch that. What are they called again? Munchin land. Anyway, the witch doctor guy. She's captured by him, and he takes her to West, to the witch West, and she wants to know, how did you kill my sister? Apparently, she really loved East, and apparently East was like, they had this, they were really close in some way, shape, or form. So she's asking, how'd you kill her? And she's a witch. She's got power. She can really torment the crud out of you. So Dorothy kind of gives in a little bit. And says, okay, it's in my bag. So West finds the gun, has no idea what a gun is. Okay, these things are totally foreign objects to them. That's how East ended up shooting herself in the freaking head. But somehow West actually manages to hold the gun correctly. I mean, it's to a certain extent. I mean, a gun is logically fits in your hand in a particular way, but West has her finger on the trigger and everything. And she's like, "Is this what you did? Is this the magic that you used? To kill my sister? Why did you kill her?" And pretty soon she's pointing the gun at right at Dorothy's head, and she's and then she squeezes the trigger and nothing. Okay, and I'm thinking to myself at first, okay, well, I didn't count how many shots she's firing. I don't, does she? This is pretty much, it's 7 plus 1 in the mag kind of guns. This is and it's not a big deal, not a huge deal, but I figured it was out of bullets. Nope. Somehow she managed to trip the switch and drop the mag out. Okay, and there's 2 or 3 rounds left in it. You can see 2. I saw 2. Did anybody see more than 2? I saw 2 rounds left in the magazine. Okay. So anyway, she continues to. She gives her a break. She leaves for a little bit. She gives her a break. West goes off and she uses magic to commune with her sister Glenda. And Glenda's like, "Don't do anything. I'll be there. Don't talk to her." And it's like. Well, Wes isn't listening to her sister. It doesn't seem like the type that would. Goes back in there and she's just tormenting. She has her levitating. She's twisting her body and her arms and joints and making her putting her in some serious discomfort. And then all of a sudden the hand jewels from East appear on her hands, and I'm not sure what's triggering that really. West recognizes, of course, immediately what they are. They're in the Judy Garland version, it was ruby slippers. In the books, apparently, and in this show, it's the hands thing, which is they're really cool, actually, I think. But so there's the hand jewels, and West tries to grab onto him to try to pull them off her hands. How'd you get those? Mad. And the power of them, they can't be removed that way, and they defend themselves against her, and I don't know if she's injured per se, but she's definitely not doing very well. there's a little bit more that happens with it with this. So anyway, so she recovers, and Dorothy's in her cell now. The cell is kind of funny. Where she's staying, where they have her in, is actually a room that has access to the sewer. Okay, and there's this big. It looks like a coffin. Honestly, it looks like it's a big a big coffin. What would you call it? I don't know. Anyway, somebody that knows Egyptian mythology, so you can tell me what that is, what it's called. And and it's locked, which kind of makes sense. You wouldn't want somebody breaking in by going through the sewer, through the place where the chamber pots are all emptied out. Okay, so but that's where she's at, and all of a sudden somebody else is thrown in there with her. Another woman is in there, and Dorothy's like, "You may as well get used to it. I've been here for quite a while." Well, and then all of a sudden you're looking at it, and it's her mom, not her adopted mom, her real mom. And because one of the things that Wes got out of her was, the fact that she was essentially an abandoned child. Her mom didn't raise her at all. I mean, she was, so yeah, there it is. And so I'm thinking to myself, this has got to be a trick, okay? Because and it makes sense that she would do it. But Dorothy, of course, doesn't see through it. And all of a sudden, you're seeing these memories of Dorothy's time with, East, and when and everything. And apparently, yes, spoilers. Shut it off. Okay. So apparently, of course, I was right. It is a trick. It is actually West, and because we know she can do that. She can do that kind of illusion because she did that illusion to Tip in the bathtub, remember? So, and Tip was like, "I knew it was you," kind of thing. But and it turns out it was West, and West was actually pulling those memories out to find out what happened, and so she's she's kind of figuring some things out, and the memories include some stuff that I'm gonna have to watch it a couple of times to probably catch it. Because apparently, there's some information in there that Wes gleaned about her sister Glenda. Okay, so, okay, we're gonna move on to Lucas. Lucas, of course, he got separated at the time that Dorothy was caught by the witch doctor, and so he's with the guard. Amon, I think is his name. And Amon knows him. He called him Nolan in the last episode, and I think it's Nolan. And I was trying to protect him. And the guard is like, I'm gonna. He brings him to. Amon brings him to his house where his wife is, but remember, Amon has been shot, so he's injured. So this isn't good. So, he's like, what, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to try to see this straightened out. Try to figure out what happened to you. You were crucified. Why were you crucified? Why did this happen? So, a little bit later, we see Lucas is sleeping on a couch, and and the girl who had the shells in her ears and everything. But she goes up and she just kicks him in the leg, wakes him up. Freaks him out. He wakes up and pulls a knife on her essentially, and realizes what he did. Okay, it's a bad idea. Scared the girl, but the girl knows has a feeling to find Dorothy, and so we don't hear much. She doesn't speak much, but she finally starts talking a little bit, and she's Dorothy. I know where Dorothy is, kind of thing. So they leave Amon's place to go find Dorothy. Okay, so okay. That's the majority. We're gonna come back to these at the end just to kind of wrap them up a little bit too. Okay, so and we have Jack the Tin Man. Okay, Jack is with we come across Jack. He's with the princess, and he's also with her father, King August or August. And they're in a carriage. They're on their way to visit the wizard. There's a festival about to happen. And so they get there, and you know, it's they're at dinner with the wizard, and Jack is acting the servant, but he still doesn't have control over his hand. He breaks a glass. She actually laughs at him, okay, and encourages others to laugh that way because she's a princess. They ask the wizard about the information he might have about the Forever Beast is coming, and so he refers to the his Anna, his favorite at this point, and she explains, we know that it's coming from the sky, but it has a heart, so it can be killed, there's another counselor from the same sect who disagrees, and the princess just sits there and she just starts stirring the pot, and she's pretty petulant. I mean, she knows how to play people and everything, but she's just being downright mean. So she stirs the pot, and a little bit later, after the dinner and everything is over, we see the wizard is walking with the king, King August. He's trying to negotiate with him, and it becomes very clear that King August is not all there anymore. Whether it's senility or is it Alzheimer's? I mean, it could be Alzheimer's. That's causing it. And so from that we can pretty much glean that the princess is actually the one that's in charge, and but the princess, we find out that really doesn't like the wizard, because the wizard realizes he's getting nowhere with his negotiations with the king. So he goes to talk to the princess. The princess says, "You know what? You saved Oz, but you did not save my city at all." She was very young during the last attack. She was part of but she doesn't remember the attack, but she does remember the aftermath. She lost her mother during the last attack, and the city was devastated, and he did nothing for them. And the wizard is trying to work on building an army, and he wants a mechanical army from them. And she says, "You know what? What I want to get your army, what I want is for Oz to be completely devastated, laid waste," is the word she's using. She hates the guy. So, okay. And so there's this festival going on, and the princess comes up to Jack, and they're up on a balcony, and it's with the porcelain tile work, handrail and everything, and they're up there, and she says, "All right, we're going. Let's go." And he's like, "No, why should I? You don't even like me, And it turns out that really what it boils down to is she wants a friend, and she doesn't know how to get a friend. She's just nobody's ever taught her social skills. She has no idea how to be social with other people. So she, Jack's like, starts to say, "You know what?" She's like, "I don't know how. How do I be friends?" And he's like, "Well, you start off, you get to know each other, and you do do things for other people, and out of that you might become friends and everything." And on the one hand, it's a foreign concept to her, and on the other hand, she really picks up quick. I mean, we know she's a smart girl. Okay, she's ruling a kingdom, but anyway, I don't buy that she really turned that fast. I think that they scripted that in too well. Okay, let's move on to Tip. We'll come back and, like I said, we'll wrap all that up a little bit. Tip, she's become a servant for the Witch West. Now the old servant was Miranda. Okay, Miranda is not happy to be now playing second fiddle kind of thing, and while Tip and West are talking in West's bedchamber, they're just talking. Miranda comes in and she's like, gives her, put that down over there and go empty the chamber pot. Okay, and Wes asks the witch, who was she? Who is she? And Wes says, "She used to be you. So she used to be the favorite, and now she's emptying the chamber pots, and now is playing second fiddle, and is pretty much more or less forgotten about. And West just doesn't care. I mean, she recognizes exactly what she's doing, and she just doesn't care. So Miranda's, I mean, she's the old servant. She's mad. She's gonna look for opportunity. Then we find out Tip. By the way, I mean, since these stories are going to these two stories come together with Dorothy, Tip was present for the questioning, and she saw the magic being used to torment her and twist her and force and get the answers out of her. But she's mad at Dorothy because Dorothy freed Tip from the old lady, and that was keeping Tip a boy with medicine and magic. And now Tip is a boy and is mad because Tip would rather be a boy again because that's all she's ever known. Okay. She's mad at Dorothy, and she has a change of heart. When she sees what happened when Dorothy, when Wes came in acting like Dorothy, with the illusion of Dorothy's mom, Tip saw that, and it made a difference, and it made her feel differently about Dorothy. So she decides she's going to help Dorothy escape. Okay, and to do this, they have to use. Remember, I told you that she's in the same room as the chamber, as the sewer, as that it looks like a casket. I mean, come on. So she gives her the key and opens it up, and Miranda shows up, and Miranda's like, she's like, she has a big knife, and she's gonna, so that's what it looks like is happening, and so it looks like it's gonna go really south. And heads up, it doesn't. I need to do this part first. Heads up, it doesn't go south. Dorothy does get away, and Tip stays. Okay? So Miranda is stuck with her arm. Is stuck with her arm and stuck in the lid, because the lid's really heavy, apparently. But Glenda has shown up at the same time. And Glenda, the Witch of the North, has shown up, and she's trying to schmooze West, but West has this new knowledge of Glenda's actions with her sister, and that Glenda was not acting in the other witch's best interests. So we'll see how that turns out here probably next week. So they show up, and Miranda, West and North show up at someone talking about Kanye and Kim Kardashian. Northwest shows up at you'll get the laugh out of that. Shows up in the chamber, and here's Miranda with her arms stuck in that lid, and she can't get away. And she's here. There she is pleading. Glenda gets mad, storms off for the moment. You can't even hold on to her. She's like, I will find her. And excuse me. And Miranda is trying to tell is telling her, basically she's trying to tell her the truth. And here's Tip. Tip's got her got a tray of food, like she's I've been making you tea like you wanted. If you told me to, I've been making tea the entire time. I couldn't have helped Dorothy escape. I've been making your tea. And ultimately, she believes Tip and basically kills Miranda. Drops her in the sewer. Dorothy, as gets out of the sewer and exit the sewer exit. Okay, like seconds before all of a sudden, essentially a big wash comes through of very unsavory things. Well, in those unsavory things is Miranda, and unfortunately Miranda's dead. So, okay, so then we double back. So the guard Amon, was shot. So he's a guard, and so he's getting some medical attention, and the wizard is there asking him questions, and the person who removes a bullet shows it to him. Now, mind you, these guys don't know what a bullet is, and the wizard has looks like he knows. So okay, so side note, Lucas. Turns out Lucas was Lucas was being crucified for a reason. Apparently, we don't know the story behind it, whether he was protecting somebody or not. But he killed like 10 guards, trying to keep them from getting into a particular trailer of some type for some reason. So I'm thinking we're going to find out more about that. We're probably going to find out that he was doing it to protect somebody. That's my theory. That's what I think we're going to find out. But he gave himself up because he realized he was a guilty person, you know. So he just killed like 4 more guards, and you know. So, but anyway, so trying to wrap this up pretty quick here. So Tip sets up Miranda. Okay, and so you know, Jack is with the princess, and they're walking, and they're acting, you know, kind of friendly, as you know, maybe not friends, but friendly. And Jack asks about the mask, and she's like, he starts to ask, you know, why do you? And she's like, wear a mask. When we become friends, I'll tell you. You know, so in other words, okay, there's an effort forth going on here. She's starting to figure that out a little bit. So they're off walking together by themselves, and you know, not a smart thing to do with the princess, and you know, and a group of, I'm just going to call them hoodlums, even though they were actually, you know, they weren't kids or anything. I usually call hoodlums to be kids, but these people are, you know, just not nice guys, and they're you know, being aggressive towards the princess, and Jack's you know, is like, you know, stay away from her kind of thing. You know, bear in mind, Jack is 16, you know, 16 years old, maybe, you know, I mean, he's got all this new armament and everything, but he's 16 years old, and they you know, first he's easy to push away at first. You know, he doesn't have much balance. He's not really all that. He's not that coordinated with his new body, and so, you know, it seems to be pretty easy to push around. And then all of a sudden he gets back up, and you know, he's like, and they're, you know, they start fighting him. Well, he's got a metal body, so every time they hit him, they hurt themselves, and except for when they hit his face. So and then you know, every time he hits them, he has a metal hand, and you know, particularly strong because it's mechanical and everything, and so he ends up winning. In the end, you know, somehow they manage to do it. They kiss, not the hoodlums, the princess and Jack kiss in the end, and he's like, "Well, friends don't do that," and she's like, "Well, let's be something else." So anyway, I guess she's just a lonely girl. What do you do? So the wizard, at one point in time, he's speaking to Anna. You know, they're overlooking the city, and he's speaking to Anna. And he says, "Like, I have something for you," and he hands it to her, and it's the bullet. And he says, "This is a bullet. This is what's going to save us, you know, from the Forever Beast. This is it." And he knows exactly what it is. He knows where it comes from. So, and anyway, okay, so Dorothy is out wandering the city. We're gonna wrap this up. We're almost there. Wow, this is a lot faster than last night. He's out. He's out. She's out wandering around. She's getting to the castle. She wants to see the wizard. She gets in. She's wearing a mask. It's the festival thing. She gets up in there, and spoilers, by the way. Spoilers. She gets up there. She makes it all the way up to his chambers. Not too sure how that happens. I would think you would have some guards around, but no. But we're hearing Pink Floyd coming on, okay? And, you know, okay, at first I thought it was just background music. And then it turns out she gets in there, and, you know, there's no gramophone there in the room. But there's a couple of wire leads coming off of the gramophone. And they go, and she follows the wires, and it goes to an old cassette Walkman, you know, Sony Walkman, you know, style thing. Sony, I don't know if it was Sony, but you know, it was the most common one. This, you know, which was, and we're listening to you know, Pink Floyd on cassette, and you know, even complete with you know, the batteries look like they're kind of wearing down just a little bit. It gets a little warbly. So she shuts it off. Wizards, you know, just in an ante room there, and he gets up and he looks and is like, you know, and she has a gun out, and then she takes her mask off, and he's asking her questions like, you know, and she's, you're from the same world as me, you're from the same place I am, and then she says, do you know my, you know, this person, her mother's name, and which I'm gonna have to get that memorized. It's like a light comes on. He knows Dorothy, and I don't know. We're gonna find out that Dorothy. I think we're gonna find out that Dorothy is his daughter or something like that. And so there you are. There you have it. I think that's the show in a nutshell. Did you like the way I did this time? I mean, it kind of broke it up a little bit, not quite as much back and forth. I thought it was better. I was able to kind of get through a bunch of the story all at once of each person without, because otherwise, you know, I write down one line and then move on to the next story. I didn't like that. I thought it worked out pretty good. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments down below. If you like what I'm doing here, make sure you subscribe right there. Wow, I have no coordination tonight. Well, it's almost 11 o'clock at night, and you know, I'm going to turn into a pumpkin soon. So, hey, God bless. You know, we're going to be doing some more stuff tomorrow. It is the weekend. I have weekends off typically. So, we're going to get some more video out tomorrow, and hopefully some more on Sunday. So, you know, God bless. Y'all have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow.